We are going live. Okay. So now, okay, how are we doing this? What? I did add products. I added all my products. Okay. So what are we doing? We are talking about the abacus. What? Cancel. Cancel. Okay. What are we doing? We're adding. No, we're just watching. Okay. Anyways. Okay, cool. So what we're doing, we're just going to count on the abacus. We're 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Nope, that's got to go that way. Okay. What are we doing? Okay, there we go. There we go. We're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to be talking about the abacus. We are going to talk about the abacus. The abacus is a counting tool. This tool, it helps us figure out whether or not we're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for following. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining me. So what we're going to do first is we're going to understand how to read the abacus. This is 4. Now, how do I know? Because this is a horizontal bar and this is what tracks the number. So this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when we look, right, we have 5. This right here is the value of 5. Now, when we look, we have 5 and then we have 6. Because we have 5, we have 6, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9. What are we doing? Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to do that. Oh, yeah. There we go. So what are we doing? I'm talking about the abacus. This is my abacus. This abacus will help us count. What we're doing is we're going to learn how to count on the abacus. We do a 1, right? We do 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is considered 4. Because this is 4, then we have 5. The top bead will always be 5. But notice what I'm doing is I'm removing the bottom beads, right? So now this bottom beads are not touching the beam, this horizontal bar. This horizontal bar is what tells us um, whether or not which numbers are being tracked. So when we look, we have 5 and then we have 6. Because we have 6, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9. So notice after 9, what happens after 9? 9 becomes 10. Wait a minute, that looks very familiar, doesn't it? Hello Ethan, welcome. How are you doing today? It is morning for you. So what we're going to do is we're reading the abacus and notice we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, when we look, this is 0 and 1, 0, 1. And then when we look, this is 11. So when we have 1 and 1, we have 11. And then we have 12. I'm sorry, 12. 2 and 1. We have 2 and 1. That is 12. Now when we have 13, then 14, and then we have 15. The top bead will always be 15. The top bead will always be 5. Notice we have 1. We have 1 and then we have 5. So we have 5 and then 6. 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. And then after 9, we have, 19, 19. This is 19. After 19, we have 20. 20 looks very familiar, doesn't it? It looks like a 2, but in a different column. What does that mean? What does this all mean? Well, when I label it, right, just like how we write on the piece of paper, we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000. And notice that when I looked at this is our 20, 2 and a 0. So when we look, we have 1 and then 2. After 2, let's say we add the 5. When we add the 5, now we have 7. So what we're doing is we're looking to see how we understand the abacus. We have 1, 2, 3, because this is 3, and then we add the 5. Now we have 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we have add the 5. We have 9. Together, this is 9. And then we have 10. 1 and a 0. That is what 10 looks like. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. 15, 1, and 5. We can do 25. Now we can count by tens. 25, 35, 45, and then 55. After 55, we have 65, 75, 85, 95. After 95, we have 100. This is 100 because we have our 100. So we have our ones or tens or hundreds. So this would be 100. Because this is 100, now we can count by hundreds. 100, 200, 300, 400, and then 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and then we have 1,000. So How are we doing? We're having troubles. We're having trouble. Remove. Okay, so save changes. Okay, we are back to here. Anybody have any questions? What we're doing is we're understanding how to read the abacus. And once we finish how to read the abacus, we're going to be learning how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. But the first thing we're going to do is understand how to read the abacus. So if I did this in the chat, what number do you think this is? What number do you think this is? Please put it in the chat. What number you think this is? And if I take a look, what number do we think that is? Thank you everybody for joining. Oh, Jordan, 87. Almost, Jordan. Why? Because this is 80. You got the 80, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then there's 2. 1, 2. 7 would look like that. So we have 5, 6, 7. That is what 87 would look like. Does that make sense? So when we had I believe I had it this way. It was 82. And then if we did this, right, this is 52. And then when we continue on, like this one here, Zong has a number towards the end. So Zong has a number, it's 9,009. That's what 9,009 would look like, 9,009. So what else? Okay, so let's see. Somebody came in, I think it was 11. So Dylan, 11. This is what 11 looks like. And then, oh, Morgan was 99. Morgan's 99. So 99. That's what it would look like. Hello, TMZ. Thank you. Hey, Tickle Pickle. And then Flower Zizzo. Okay. So when we are looking at the abacus and we're learning how to count. So let's do a little review. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. The top beat will always be 5. Because we have 5, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Does that make sense, Jordan? So what we're doing is we're counting by, now we can count by tens. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100. When we look, we have 100, 100. Does that make sense? Are we okay? Okay, so Jordan might have left. That's okay. So 100 looks like this, 100. That's what I have on my abacus. 100. There we go. Okay, so, we have another number. It's 5698. So we have 5, 6, oh, no, 5698. I don't know, R something. And when we look, that's what that number is, 5698. So if I wrote it, right, it might be easier when I write it. We have 5, comma, 6, 5, 6, 9, 90, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. I've never had these words. Oh, I hope this makes sense to you, May. So when we look, we are reading the abacus. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn how to read the abacus. Thank you for the comment, May. I hope this is helping. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to understand how to read the abacus. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. All the top beads will always have a value of 5. Hello, Alyssa. So when we have 5, we have 6. Does that make sense, May? So when we have 2, we have 1, 2. That looks very familiar. And then what are we going to do is we're going to add the 5. The top bead will always be 5. Because the top beat is always going to be 5, every time we add, we have a bigger number. I hope that makes sense. So if I did 3, right, 1, 2, 3, and I add the 5, now my answer is 8. Does that make sense, May? I don't know if you're still here. When we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, good, you're still here. Okay, good. I'm so happy because it's a little lonely. I'm just kind of talking. So this is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we add the 5, Now, what number do you think that is? Thank you for the follow, May. What number do you think this is? If I had 4 and I add the 5, what number is that? This would be, please put it in the chat. Yes, thank you, May, 9. So that makes sense, right? So what we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. Hey, VBs. Yes. So this is 9. You're absolutely right. when we look, now we have 10. How do I know that this is 10? Well, if you see, I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000. So because I put the 1 over here, this is now 0. I'm sorry, 1 and 0, just as I have it here. So that's what 10 looks like. 10 is there's one bead on the tens column, and then there's 0 on the ones column. So now we have 10. So if I did this, this is 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, what number do we think that is? If I added the 5, remember the top bead will always be 5. So what number do we think this is? Please put it in the chat. Let's see how that goes. Hey, Zay, yes, thank you. Yes, May, yes, VBs. Yes, fantastic, right? It makes sense. I'm so happy it makes sense. Thank you, Alan. So if I did this, right, we have 80, we have 82. And then if we add the 5, now we have 87. So let's do a little bit of number recognition. This one will be easy. So I have this book. I didn't put it on the thing, but I have this book where we have the abacuses and mazes. And so the idea here is to find the starting. Thank you so much for following and liking my live. Thank you, Black Sash 101. So, oh, that doesn't, you can't see that. Let's see if I did that. Okay, there we go. So here, I'm going to start here, and then what we're going to do is work our way through our maze. When I do this, what number do you think that is? Is that too dark? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. So, we have 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what number is that? That number is, what number do we think that is? Yes, thank you, May. 49. How much do you need? How much do you need? Yes, 49. There we go. There we go. Thank you. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow the path, and we're going to do this. So then we have to cover it, and then we're going to go here. What number do you think? So we have this number, right? And then we have these number. So if I color it in like this, right? What number do you think that is? There we go. Can we see that? What number do you think that is? 57. Yes. Perfect. So we have 57, and then takes me over here. So what number is here? So we have $40. Okay, sorry. Okay. Hold please. Hold please. Okay. What number is that? We have this, we have that, we have that. And then we do this. So if I did this and I did this, what number do you think that is? 73. Yes, exactly. 73. I am so sorry. Okay. So, May, you're really getting it. I'm so happy. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow the maze, and we're going to come down here, right? And then it will take us to here. So we have this. What number do we have? What number do you think that is? Let's see. A to Z. Okay. It is 40. Yes, thank you, Black Sash. Being a great person and teacher. God bless. Thank you, Black Sash 101. Yes, you're right, May. It is 44. And then there's 0. Yes, you're absolutely right. Okay, so we have that one. It goes to 40. How is the maze? Is the maze okay for you? And then we have this. What number do we think that is? B custom 4000. There we go. Okay. Yeah, not a problem, Black Sash. So if I did this, right? And then I did this, what number do we think that is? Are we okay with it? We have that, and then we have that. Okay, if you withdraw. Great! Thank you, May. 28. It is 28. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. Now, 28. We got to go all the way up to here. And so we have this number. What number do you think that is? Let's see. Okay. Oops. That. We have this, right? Hmm. Oh, sorry. Thank you, May, for letting me know. I am so sorry. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for your help. It's hard to tell. Okay, so we got that. Okay, there we go. There we go. So let's see. We have this, and then we have that. Save. Yep. How are we doing? Yep. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm so happy. 70? No, not 70. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, right? Makes sense. Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah. So, because, it's kind of cool to have attention to detail. And so I like the abacus because we have to have attention to detail. So can we see that? I want to do this. How's that? Is that okay? That looks better. Okay, if I'm going to clear my abacus, I do this and then I do that. What number do we think that is? Hey, Lewis. Thank you. I don't know if Lewis is still here. Thank you, May. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you so much for the rose. I see it. 42. Yes, I just watched your tutorial. So cool that you're live. Oh, yes. A lot of people that comment I don't teach. Yes, thank you, May. 42. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1, 2. But I also know that they're like young. There's a lot of kids on TikTok, and I don't know why they're on my feed. I don't know why I show up on their feed. See, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. TikTok wants me to educate everybody. So, what are we doing here? What number is this? Well, we're reading it again, right? This is 5, 6, and then 7. Okay. So, can you do decimal points? Yes. 7. Yep, 7. Oh, yes, you can do decimal points. Decimal points, I will show you, is this. Let's see. Here we go. So, when I look at my abacus, right? When I look at my abacus, I do that. The decimal sits right here. So I have my ones, I have my tenths, and my hundredths. So when we look, we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. Backum, backman, backman. Does that make sense? So when we look, this is where the decimals will sit. So we have this number, and then 5, 6, 9. No, wait, what? 1, 5, what number is that? Does that make sense? Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah. So it all depends on where it is. Now, if you wanted to, you could put your decimal, you could put your ones here. Notice I have these dots. These are the dots I'm talking about. These are labels. That's all it is. It's a label to show me where I'm going to, it's a label to show me where the ones is. So if I wanted to, I could do this. And then this would be my ones, my tens, and notice I cannot have a hundreds. So I cannot have the hundreds, but if I look and I do this, then all of this part would be all decimals. Yeah, all of this would be decimals. But I like to use a smaller decimal, so that's why I always start from here, and then I have a bigger number. So that's why when I switch it over to like this, then I have a bigger number. I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000. So I can actually go to 10,000. Okay, what did we say? What number this was? No, I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, that was a very good question. Thank you, Backman. Yeah. Do the large do larger abacus solve this? Yeah. It actually doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter the amount of how big it is, right? So we have seven. Oh, it's late for me. I'm gonna go to sleep, but thank you for teaching me. Oh yeah, not a problem, mate. Thank you for participating. So back then, um, well, here, this is, if you notice, is a seven column abacus. And so when we look at the seven column abacus, right, this is a seven column abacus, and then this is a 13 column abacus. This 13 column abacus, it works exactly the same. So when we look, right, I'm going to match it up. The only difference is not the color, it's just the size, because size matters. Hmm. Yeah. So because size matters. And so what we're going to do, thank you, May, again for joining and participating. Okay. And then here I have my two abacus. This is a 13 column abacus, and then this one is a 7 column abacus. They work exactly the same, and it just depends on the numbers. It just depends on, like, because size matters, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to count on the abacus. I'm going to clear it out just like that. And I'm going to match the ones over here. So I have my ones and my ones. So when I count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5, and that's 5. Oh, that's not 5. That's 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this is 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Does that make sense? Thank you for the follow. So what we're doing here is, yes, it works exactly the same, and it also depends on where our ones places. If you choose this to be your ones, then you have your thousands and your millions, right? However, if I chose my ones to be over here, then if you notice, every label has a group separator. So my ones, my tens, I'm sorry, my ones, my thousands, my millions, my billions, and my trillions. So here's trillion. Well, if I wanted to track the national debt, then I would have to get a larger abacus. And this one is a 23 column abacus. They work exactly the same. It just means that this one has more numbers. This is made out of um, bamboo. This one's made out of bamboo. However, these ones here, that's also in my shop, these are made out of plastic, and they work exactly the same. You'll notice they're very easy to manipulate. They're very easy to move. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful when you move the beads. Why? Because they're so easy to move. You have to be careful. And also, what you want to do is you want to stabilize your abacus, because even if you mess it up like this, then your answer gets all wrong. So because your answer gets all wrong, then you're going to not do well. And then, so that's why you want to hold the abacus with your left hand. Now, if you also notice that if I have all this 5 here and I decided to do this, I flick too hard. So be careful not to, don't be Zeus in Thor, and don't flick too hard. So what we want to do is make sure when we use the abacus, we want to gently move the beads. To move the beads, you'll notice that there are ridges. So all you got to do is take the edge of the bead, and just move it up with the top part of your finger, right? It's a gentle moving of the beads. It's not like manhandling it. It's not like saying, "Oh, I'm going to just aggressively move it." You don't need to do that. In the abacus, the abacus itself is very gentle, right? And so it's very, not delicate, but gentle, right? And it's very easy to move. That's why it's simple to use and easy to understand. But that was one of the things, right? You know why? I didn't realize it was a complaint, because it was a man who did the review, and he's like, this is really small for my fingers. And I'm like, you don't put it in like this. You move with your fingers. You just move with the tip of your fingers, right? This is actually a standard size of an abacus. And if you look, they all standard size. They're all the same size. I don't know if you could see that. So even with this one here, that's 23 columns, the standard size is the way it is. And so there's no difference between the two. The only difference is that this is colorful and then this is not. So when I do this, hopefully you could see that's the same size. Great. Let me know if you have any more questions, but those are fantastic questions. Thank you so much. And then the other question would be like, oh, if you notice, my 23 column one has more indicators, and it's exactly the same. You just choose one, like a Pokemon. I choose you. So this my ones, my thousands, my millions, my billions, my trillions, my quadrillions, my quintamillions. All right. So how are we doing? Are we okay with how we move the beads? And so that was how we move the beads. Now we can continue on and then we can start doing some adding and subtracting. I'm not sure who else is here, but thank you guys for liking the live. I don't know who's liking the live, but yeah, thank you for entering. This is fantastic. I want to teach my daughter, but I needed to understand. Oh, yeah, you know what? This is what I do. I am so happy you are willing to teach your child this. And so here, is it okay to ask you how old your daughter is? Because as long as they're open to learning something new, it actually doesn't matter how old they are. But sometimes with the activities that I do have, oh, she's 3. I hope you take a lot of video. Oh my God, that's the best age. Oh, I love it. The fantastic threes. Oh, wow, bring back so many memories. I used to go to Aloha as a kid and they use the abacus method. Oh, fantastic, Kay. Fantastic. And so here's a question. Well, yeah, do the kids enjoy it? No, but you know what? They do have a better concept of math. I will tell you this. So what I did here was I have a school. Oh, I have not a school. I started abacus 20 years ago. I didn't start abacus when I was a child, but I live vicariously through my children. And so what I did was as the kids got older, now I have more time. I'm actually having more time to create worksheets. And so what I did was I came across the abacus counting videos. It was something like I've never seen. We went down the rabbit hole. Oh, those are the best. So here is a worksheet where I created, they color the numbers, right? Color the number, and they just need to match the number with the abacus. And a lot of it is just, bead recognition is what we just did. We did bead recognition, and I have activities for each number. And what this is just a maze, right? And you just write the number, and I'm trying to do some number recognition. And after run number recognition, we go all the way down to, they could choose any path and then they would have to match the number with the abacus. And so all of my worksheets and all of my workbooks is abacus specific because there's not enough abacus specific out there. Thank you, KK, for joining. So this one is talking about how to count forward, how to count backwards, and so forth. We're going to go through. I mean, we don't need to know how to count backwards or what's coming around. But what we're going to do is we're going to understand the difference is in the abacus method we focus on the add-in. That's why I circled it here. And what does that? Why is that different in mainstream math? We focus on the result. And I can tell you that this is a problem because we it's always about the path. It's always about the journey, how to get there. It's not about the result. So when we look, right, I actually have a friend that's a second grade teacher and he doesn't feel comfortable introducing abacus yet because he still has in his mind it's a mental shift to be able to figure out the add-in and not the result. So in elementary school in grades 1, 2, and 3, I don't know why we're focusing on the result, but we should do is we focus on the add-in because when you go through all the questions in math and everything, we always need to know how to move the beads. What is being added? So here is what we're going to do is we're going to add the 1. When we add the 1, I'm sorry, we add the 5. This is the number 5. We're adding 5. Oh, no, not there. There. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the 1. Notice I'm only focusing on the add-in. How do you add the 1? When we add the 1, we're going to move the top bead up. That's what we're going to do. Does that make sense? So all we're going to do is move the top bead up. But notice I have 6 and I want to add another 1. Now I have 7. If I want to add another 1, I have 8. If I add another 1, I have 9. Now notice, because I add to the horizontal bar, I want to subtract away from the horizontal bar. To subtract, I just take it away from the horizontal bar. So now we have a balance, right? Now we know if we can add it, we can subtract. If we know how to add, we know how to subtract. So I'm going to take away. So if I wanted to have 7 and I take away 2, notice I'm going to move these 2 beads like this. That is what we're doing. So what we're doing right now is understanding how to move the abacus. Notice my left hand is holding the abacus so it's stable. But because I'm here and I'll be moving my abacus a lot, sometimes my answer will get wrong. My answer will be wrong. Or if I get really tired, I will get a wrong answer. So again, we did the plus two. When we do a plus two, it's the same thing. If I have five, I'm going to have the five, and I add the two. I'm going to add two here. Ah, see? Did you notice that? I flicked too hard. Don't flick hard because your answer will get messed up. So this is seven. I'm going to clear it. And then obviously that was the two when we added two. And then here's more activities. What I did here, because I really like puzzles, enter the puzzle board and then find the answer on the puzzle piece. So that's what that is. And then what we're doing is we are going to add the five. When we add the five, we are going to plus the three. That's what plussing the three is. So when we add the three, it's going to be these three beads. We're not going to be one, two, three. Why? Because we're big people. We know how to move three beads. So we're just going to do that. We're just going to move three beads, and then that will be eight. The final answer is eight. Thank you, that autism shop. Thank you for the follow. So here is four. Four doesn't have a lot of questions. It's either 0 plus 4, or it's 5 plus 4, and that will equal to 9. So thank you for the follow. And then, okay, so then because we added, now what do? Now we have to subtract. And again, I've shown you how to subtract. It is 3. I have 3. When I take away 1, I just take away the 1 bead. So I'm doing that, right? We want to see the 1 bead. Make sense? And then we do 2. We can do the same thing. We have 4. We're going to have 4. And I take away the 2. When I take away the 2, my final answer is 2. So I don't know if you've seen any of the videos, like when the kids are doing this, it's because they're doing it on the abacus. They're mentally thinking about the abacus, and they're doing it mentally in their heads. I don't push it. It's up to you if you want to, but I feel like using the abacus is very beneficial. Because why? Because you could see, we're getting to like adding and subtracting, and you can see the constraints. And when you see the constraints, you'll know how to critically think and answer the question. So again, this is for, that's what I'm speaking about. Is that worth teaching? I believe it is. I have 3 boys, and they've all gone through the abacus method. We were in the middle. We just started learning how to do common core, but I didn't have to worry about it because abacus is really common core. And so what abacus does is it provides a solid foundation of how to add. We do adding, subtracting, multiplication, division. Depending on how quickly or how well that they move through it. I mean, we're going to go through a lot of big concepts, but they are scalable. Hey, RTX, welcome. Hello. So I don't know if that answered your question. Um, I believe it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. There's a lot of like strategies behind like how to add, how to show the kids to add. And I'll go through some of the strategies that I've found, and I still feel like it's more complicated than it really is. Because here what we do in abacus world is we understand. Oh yes, you're awesome. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. In abacus world, we do, okay, okay, sorry, I'm trying to think of like my train of thought. What I before let's finish how to move the beads, and then we're going to go into how to make a 5 and how to make a 10, and then you're going to see the difference. Okay, so what we're going to do, and then depending on time and depending on my energy level, we might go into multiplication. But the first thing, but usually I try to get into is adding and subtracting. So here we are, we're going to take away the minus the 3. So again, we're going to have the 9. So we add the 9 to the abacus, and we take away the 3. So the biggest question always you need to ask is, can you do it? Yes, you can. Can you take away the 3 beads? Yes, you can. So I'm going to move the 3 beads. So my final answer is 6. So that was 3. And again, that's minus 4. Minus 4 doesn't have a lot of questions. If I have 9, I'm going to take away the 4. Or can I do it? Yes, I can. I'm going to take away the 4. And there you go. So what's going to happen is it's the same thing. Now we have the 5. Now we add the 5. We add it to the abacus, right? We add it to the horizontal bar. So now it's being counted. And then if we take away the 5, it's just moving it away from the abacus. I'm sorry, moving it away from the horizontal bar. We have 6. 6 is the same. When we have 2, we're going to add the 2. When we add the 2, and then we have to add the 6. When we add the 6, notice I'm going to take these 2 beads, I'm going to move it and squish it together. And now I have 8. So when we look, the question is now, do we have enough to add the 6? Yes, we do. So all we got to do is squish it together just like that. Okay? So our final answer is 8. And again, now we have 8. We know how to make an 8. Okay. So again, because we add, we can subtract. We know we're going to be moving it away from the horizontal bar. So if I have 9 and I take away 5, I'm just going to move it away from the horizontal bar. So now what abacus does is it teaches everybody the attention to detail, right? Because sometimes people forget that there's a 5. Sometimes people forget that there's a horizontal bar, or sometimes they forget of the ones indicator, right? This is the ones label, these little dots. So everything about the abacus is really quite interesting and it's very obvious. We just have to pay attention to detail. So here is 1. I'm going to add the 1, and then I'm going to add the 8. I'm going to add the 8. I bring it all together like this. And then here it says minus the 7. So to minus the 7, I need to push it apart like this. So again, you notice my left hand is holding the abacus. Sometimes people forget because they never knew in the first place. Then they don't forget. They just didn't notice it. That's not a forgetting, Gobus. I forget where I put my keys. Hey, Neon, welcome back. So when I'm talking about it, so what we're doing, okay, that is about moving the beads. That is about moving the beads. Bachman, did that make sense? How are we doing? We're gonna start getting into some formulas. What's a formula? I don't know if Bachman is still here. Are you still here? Oh, there you are. What are Are the weighted abacus less prone to vibration? Sorry, I'm trying to think. There is, but usually those type of abacus are there for people who are visually impaired, and you want it to be stiff, if that makes sense. There is no real abacus that is weighted, made of steel rather than bamboo. You could make it out of steel, um, but you could make it out of steel. Your fingers would get really exercised, if that makes sense. You might be interest you might be interested in analog computing. Um, yeah, so you could make it out of steel, but then after a while your fingers will get tired. I don't know. I mean, you could, but I haven't seen one that was made out of steel. They're usually made out of plastic or they're made out of wood. It's up to you. Um, would it help if it's weighted? Would it help? I don't know, because there's a type of skill to be able to just move the beads like this, right? Because it's a gentle touch. I'm a computer scientist by trade. Yeah, yeah. I am a web developer. I'm a web developer, um, and I do find this very interesting as well. But like, it's also attention. One is attention to detail, but the other is also being gentle, right? So if it's heavy, then you're kind of defeating the purpose of being able to flick, if that makes sense, right? So I don't know. You could try it. I've not seen one, and I don't know if it matters. Okay, so here's the thing. What are we going to do? The next thing we're going to do is, my question biggest, you lose a speed. Yes, thank you. Yes, you lose a speed, and the idea was to be able to move it. But then that's the difference between the Chinese abacus. right? So the Chinese abacus is two digits. I'm sorry, two beads on top and five beads on the bottom. It's kind of heavy and it's not as easy to maneuver, but the beads are bigger, and you just have a bigger movement in the wrist. It works exactly the same. So you have one, two, three, four, five, and then we have six. After, I'm sorry, five. So what we're doing is we trade it in. If we have five here, we're trading this in. So this is five and this is five. So then we do six, seven, eight, nine, 10. And because this is 10, this is five, we're going to trade it in for this one. And then because this is 10, because two fives make a 10, now we have this one. So you could purchase Chinese abacus, and then you would just utilize the middle parts. You could do that too, if you're really worried about the jostling. But I think it kind of, if you, I think you kind of like bring into practice, um, making sure that your abacus is stable. I don't know. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do. Oh, so here in school, we're teaching the children how to plus. We're teaching children how to make a five. Now, is this a huge concept? It's actually a very big concept. It's a very interesting concept, and what it is to make a five. To make a five. Why are we making a five? Well, this is one of the critical things is to make a five. And what we're going to do is we're going to understand some of the questions. Notice in abacus world, we don't memorize. Thank you so much for the hearts. We do not memorize doubles. We do not memorize doubles. What we're going to do is we're going to utilize this concept of how to add a four. What? Why? Because we have this freeloading five. We are going to make it work for us. So we're going to actually utilize our beads, our numbers, and we're going to make them work. We don't want any freeloading numbers. So what we're going to do is if I have the question three and I want to add another three, no, I want to add a five. I'm sorry, three, and I want to add a four, right? Hey, thank you, Neon Panther. I want to add a four. Why am I going to add a four? The question is 3 plus 4. So it's always nice to see what the question is. I want to add a 3 plus 4. Now, just as Neon Panther said, the what we're trying to do is we're looking at this relationship, right? This is the concept that we're going to look at. This relationship is very interesting. Why? Because now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a little bit of, hey, E, welcome. We're going to do is we're going to introduce a little bit about algebra, but because we're big people, I'm using algebra. But for the little people, I wouldn't say this, right? I wouldn't say isolate the variable. What I would tell them is 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus the 1. You will notice that now I have direction. Thank you. Minus 1 on both sides. Yes. So if you notice, I'm going to take away the 1 here. I'm going to take away the 1. So now I have direction, right? I'm going to substitute this information to the 4. Why am I going to do that? Because if you look, and I have 3, I'm going to add the 4. Do I have enough to add the 4? I do not have enough to add the 4. What do? I can use the 5. Thank you so much for sharing the live. I can use the 5. To add the 5 is too much. So we have to balance the formula. We have to balance the equation, and we're going to take away the 1. So my final answer is 7. Does that make sense, Backman? So we could do it again. Now what happens is now it becomes versatile, right? We can actually do more than what we have. Instead of learning our doubles minus 1, we don't need to do doubles minus 1, doubles plus 1. We don't have to do any of that strategy. What we do is we understand this concept. This concept helps, and it also understands how we move the beads, right? So if I want to add 4 to the abacus and I want to add another 4, I have a constraint. Can we do it? No, we can't. But we can now critically think how to do it. How do we fill what we need to do? So we know this concept. We want to add the 5 and we want to take away the 1. So now what we did is we eliminated all the strategies that happen. What some of the things that they do, right, is they say, okay, well, how do you make a 2? So in new math, it's like, well, let's break out the 4, right? We go 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. I don't know how they would do that. I honestly don't know how they would teach this. Maybe they tell them you have to memorize what 4 plus 4 is, which is fine. However, if you notice, you cannot take away the four. You cannot do doubles minus, right? Minus the doubles. Why? What? Finally, I understand this device. Hey, bleh. So when we think about the concepts in school, if you memorize the doubles, is there a minus doubles? No, there isn't. However, in abacus, we have this concept. Well, what can we do? We can make it negative too. Making it negative, right? We have it -1 equals -1 -4 equals -5. Looks very similar, right? We're now compounding our math skill. We're compounding our concept. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. What happens? Let's do minus. -4 -1 equals to -5. What are we going to do? We're going to minus the 4. So if I have 7 minus the 4, this is why we need it. Thank you, Neon Panther. What we're going to do is we're going to minus the 4 is equal to what? Minus the 5 plus the 1. What? Why? Why? Is that so complicated? No. Why? Because when I have the 7 and I want to take away the 4, when I want to take away the 4, I don't have any beads to take away the 4. I only have these two beads. So what am I going to do? I have this concept that I can minus the 5 and I add the 1. And my final answer is 3. I'm studying for calc. I don't know why I'm on your FYP. I don't teach calculus. Sorry. So, Backman, did that make sense? I don't know where I paused, but I know I'm having problems, right? So what we did again is what I said, we know how to add, now we know how to subtract. We have a balance, right? If you know how to add it, you will know how to subtract. And what we're doing, yeah, I think TikTok is having some problems with the servers. So let me know when we lose. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you when we add, we know how to subtract. When we subtract, we know how to add, right? And it's a balance. And that's what it is. So again, what we're doing is we're taking this concept 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, and then we can do it for others. So here, that's what we did. Okay? How welcome, welcome. How do we count? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Let's do a little review. Let's do a little review. We're going to count on the abacus. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So do you like the Chinese one more? I don't actually. I taught abacus the soroban. I and I've been teaching abacus with the soroban for 20 plus years. The Chinese one is just for more background information. Yeah. So we have 4. Because we have 4, when all the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is what's being counted because this is 4. So then we have 4, and then if you notice, this is the top bead. This top bead that touches the horizontal bar is now considered as a value of 5. Because this is the value of 5, we can add to it. We can do 5 and then we could do 6. 5, 6. This is a value of 1. So now we know 5 plus 1 is 6. Oh, and you'll also notice, Backman, that you can start looking at decomposing. That's another kindergarten skill, how to decompose. So when we add the 2, we have 2, and then you add the 5, now we have 7. Your video on how to count with the abacus popped up on my feed and I saw you were live. Yeah. Is it the one with the pudgy fingers? I'm so upset on how many people are looking at that, and that happens to be my husband's fingers, pudgy fingers, and I can't believe every time he touches something like blows up. That's how I found her too. Oh, I have a lot of videos, and I get a little upset when people are like, "Well, educate." I'm like, "What do you think I do?" I mean, all my videos is all about counting, adding, subtracting, multiplication, and some sort of division. I didn't see the fingers. Oh, you are not one of the 700,000 people. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you see it, they're like man hands. And so the idea was to show that you can use the abacus with just the tip of your finger, right? To be gentle. Anyways, so counting. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, oh, so Backman, what I was saying is you can also see that we can start decomposing. So when we have the five, and you'll notice that when I have the five, there'll be a one. And five and one, I just saw you and then jumped on live. Thank you, Panda. So this is decomposing. We have five and one. This is the introduction to decomposing. So we have two. When we add two and we add the five, two and five is seven. And then we have three. Three and five is now eight. And then we do four and five is nine. So this Atticus, welcome. And so what we're doing is you will also notice that there is a decomposing and to count on, right? So when you look, we can count on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it introduces the concept of counting on. So these are a lot of the kindergarten skills that kind of naturally happens with abacus. So we added the five. We took away the five, so that makes sense. We have these concepts. Okay, I think I'm back. So we have these concepts that we can go through. When we look, we did this one plus one. How do you add with decimals? Oh, that's easy. Easy. So here's a question. If we did I don't know, 1.32 plus 2.44, right? We could do that. We could do that. So, I'm sorry. Oh, what if it was okay? Let me go with that. Is that normal? Yeah, it is normal because this is money, right? So if I did $1, $1 32, 32, right? And I'm going to do $2. I do $2. Can I add two? Yep. And then I want to add the four. Is there enough to add the four? No, there isn't. So what do? I need to plus the five minus the one. So I'm going to plus the five minus the one. And then I need a plus four again. Is there enough? No. What do? Plus the five minus the one. So my final answer is 3.76. So let's do another one, right? Let's do another one. Okay, so we'll do another one. I just need to find my things. Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay, so 13.7 plus 8.9. Now, notice in Abacus world, we actually don't care whether the numbers line up. Why? What we're going to do is we're going to do 13. We do 1, we do 3, right? Hold on, Sarah. So then what does that mean? Well, notice again with my ones place, right? We have my ones and tens and hundreds, thousands, 10,000. My decimal sits right here. I'm going to put 7. This is what 7 looks like. Blah. Thank you for liking the abacus. Sarah, does this make sense that this is 1? This is 1. This is 3. 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? I don't know if Sarah's still around. Oh, good. You're still here. Good. So then we have 7. 5, 6, 7. This is 5. The top beat will always be 5. I'm doing a little bit of both. So this is the top beat. This top beat will always be 5. And I'm also play around with my camera a lot. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry. Just trying to make it look better. There we go. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So this is 5, this is 6, this is 7. Together like this is 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, and then the question was to plus the 8. We're going to plus the 8. Okay, to plus the 8 is plus the 10 minus the 2, and then plus the 9 is plus the 10 minus the 1. So that's what I'm doing. Panda? So really what a decimal is just a location, right? That's all it is. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is let's review. Oh, I just forgot my answer. Okay. So Sarah, what we're going to do is we're going to review the abacus. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal, Yeah, right? Easy, right, Jose? So anytime the beads are touching this horizontal bar, this is what's being counted. So what we're doing is we're counting on the abacus. So this top bead will always be 5. I don't know if I am moving still. I'm hoping I'm still moving. Okay, good. I think I'm moving. I don't know. So this is 5. I never really asked about the before, so I wanted to see it in practice. Oh yeah, for sure, not a problem. Those are really good questions. Those are very good questions. Oh, okay, good. Thank you, Pen. Yeah, you're moving. Okay, good. So this is 5, right? Because this is 5, I want to add the 1. Now I have 6. Remember, this is 1. 1 on the abacus, 2. But now when I add the 5, now we have 7. 5, 6, 7. We have 3. When we have 3, 1, 2, 3, and I add the 5, now I have 8. So here, when I have 4, and I add the 5, now I have 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. Jose says 12 plus 9. But we're not there yet. We can be. Sarah, I don't know if Sarah's still here. Sarah, are you okay? Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on doing some formulas. I don't know if Backman is still here. Okay, good. Okay, good. So let me do one more thing, which is how to make a 10, right? If you notice, I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000. Now, when we look, right, we could do 20, 25. So this is our year, right? 2025. What is the highest level of math you teach? I teach. That's a hard one. I actually don't. I teach only abacus. I don't teach grade levels because I don't know geometry. I don't know geometry. I hate memorizing. I don't do algebra. I know somebody who does algebra, but I know somebody who does algebra, but I don't do algebra. I only teach arithmetic. That's all I teach. I'm only adding, subtracting, multiplication, division. That's all I do. And I make worksheets. Okay, so can you teach algebra with an abacus? I can teach some concepts of algebra with an abacus, but it's still abacus specific, if that makes sense. She teaches rocket science, bro. Well, with the formulas, with these, this is kind of like algebra. I'm not sure what calculus is. That is above my pay grade. I only know, oh, I only know arithmetic. That is all I know. Sorry. Okay, what are we doing? So Sarah, does that make sense? How to make a 10? She teaches computer science and music theory. Okay, good. So when we look, right, the reason why I want to make sure you understand that, because we're going to go into understanding how to make a 10. So so I'm sorry, we're going to learn how to make a 10. What we do is making a 10, meaning this is what we're teaching the children how to make a 10. We're going to add the 7 plus the 3 is equal to 10. Why do we do that? Because we want to start talking about how to carry the 1. We want to do is it's called borrowing, carrying the 1, um grouping, regrouping, and trading, right? These are all the things that we're doing. So what that means is, here is the question: 12. 12 plus 9. If I look, I want to have 12 on my abacus. Now, what I do is I want to add the 9. Notice I don't have a 9. Because I don't have the 9, right? What do? I can utilize this. I can utilize this formula. I can utilize this concept. That means what? I want to. Thank you. Hey, Bible, welcome back. So I'm going to do this. There is this thing right here, right? Let's see. Hold, please. Let's see. You only have 23 equals. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, okay, sorry, we're here. So what we're going to do is we're going to utilize this concept. Because we're going to utilize this concept, what we need to do is we need to isolate the variable, right? The question is 12 plus 9. So this 9 is what we're going to do. We are going to isolate this variable. 9 is equal to plus the 10, right? And how do we isolate the variable? The isolating the variable means we're going to make the 9 by itself. So because we're going to do the 9 by itself like this, right? We have minus the 1 because now it's balanced. What we're going to do is we're going to substitute this information. Because we substitute this information, we're going to go and look at how to plus the 10. Plussing the 10 means 0, 1. When we add the 1, that's what we're going to do. We're going to 0, 1. We're going to add the 1, and then we minus the 1. So we're going to take away the 1. We're going to take away the 1. My final answer is 21. I have to go to sleep. I have to go to work early. I can't stay down. Ah! Okay, Panda. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the reminder to remember how to count. Thank you, Panda. I'll see you in my next live. All right. So Sarah and Backman, did that make sense? Thank you, Bible. Yes. Good morning, good night, good afternoon. I don't know if Sarah and Backman is still around, but this was from what I hear. Yeah? USPS Air. Boo. How are we doing? How are we doing? Yeah? But okay, good. Did this make sense? How to make a 10? We can do another one. Um my final answer here was 21. So what did we just do? 21. What we're doing, oh, we this would be a good one to do here. So we go back to our decimals. What Panda said was 13 and then point 0.7. So our 7 is this way, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to add the 8. Notice I'm going to add the 8 right here. When I add the 8, there's not enough beads to add the 8. What do? I need to use my formula, right? My formula is this. Where is it? It is this one. Right? To add the 8 is plus the 8. 8 plus 2 is equal to 10. So when I look at it, again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate my variable. When I isolate this variable, I have to do 8 is equal to 10, but this is not balanced. I want to minus the 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 10, 0, 1, 0, 1. I'm going to add the 10. And then here I need to take away the 2. I'm sorry. Here I need to take away the 2. So I take away the 2. Now I need to add the 9. The question is to add the 9. We know how to add the 9. To add the 9 is what? Plus the 10, right? Plus the 10 because we're adding the 9 here. We need to add 0, 1. Add the 10 and then take away the 1. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to take away the 1. So my final answer is 22.6. Yes, thank you, Bible. Yes, plus the 10 minus the 2 because we were adding the 8. Does that make sense? So what are we doing is we're building on our concept. We're building our concept of how to make a 5 and how to make a 10. And then we're practicing it and becoming more uh implicit. Is that what word? I don't know if that's the word. Implicit, explicit. 6. Yeah. Thank you for the follow. How are we doing? I don't know if Sarah's still around. Bleh. Are you still around? I don't know if Bleh is still around. Thank you guys for the hearts. How are we doing? Blah, you're still here. Welcome. Good job. Did this make sense? I don't know if you've worked with the abacus. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to solidify this concept because what? Can you multiply? Yes, we can multiply on this. We can multiply and divide. Are we going to get there? I hope we do. Let's see if we can get there within the half hour. Let's see if we can get there in a half an hour. Yeah? So, Backman, are you okay? Any questions? Bueller? Bueller? If not, we can keep going forward. We can do a couple more. We can do a couple more adding and subtracting. I've never used this before. Ah, did this make sense on how to make a 10? Doing good, right? It makes sense. Like it's very logical. Multiply and divide. Bible. Bible wants to know how to blah. Okay, good. Okay. So this does not confuse you, which is good. So what we just did is that's the secret. If you guys just didn't know, like that's the secret. The secret is what? If you know how to make a 10 and you know how to minus a 10 and you know how to make a 5 and you know how to take away the 5, what you just did is understand that you can add anything under the sun. Knowing these things, you will be able to add anything and everything. And now it becomes scalable. We don't need to do other strategies that are out there. Yeah? Hey, thank you. Thank you for the ordering. I will get that to you. I'm going to drop off. Okay, thank you, Backman. I will see you in my next live, and and hopefully we can answer more questions, and then you can teach your daughter more. Yeah. Thank you again. Have a good night. Okay, how are we doing? Bleh. That's so funny. Okay, we're gonna do multiplication then. Yeah? Are we hey Crystal? Okay, great. That is fantastic. I'm not sure like where we left off, but we will continue on. We will go forward with multiplication division since we're okay with this. Yeah? Okay. Do, 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 do. All right. What are we going to do? Oh, we're going to multiplication. All right, we're doing multiplication. Multiplication. Okay, this will be easy. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is understand in abacus, in the world of abacus, we do not memorize anything above 9. We only go 9 to 9. Why? Because we use this concept of I don't even know how to spell it. Distributive property. This is an algebraic terminology that I notice that we use. So what are we going to do? Well, what does distributive property mean? Does anybody know? I never knew what it was until like I did research. But what we're going to do is understand. It was like what? A plus B times that by C. What distributive property is we're going to do A times C and then B times C is equal to whatever. That's what we're going to do. Okay. I will give you here what we're going to do. 8 84 times that by 4. That's what we're going to do. That would be the easiest to understand. Why? Because the next thing we're going to do is understand how to read. Where are we going to go with this? Where are we going with this? Okay. When we look, when you take the value, you distribute it between the two or more values. Yes. Thank you, Neon Panther. Yes. So the first thing we're going to do is understand how many digits we have. So we have 1, 2, 3. Why are we counting? Because we need to know where to put our answer. To know where to put our answer, it's going to be in the hundreds column because we have 1, 2, 3. We're going to put it right here in the hundreds column. 4 times 8 times 4 plus 4 times 8, or 80 times 4 plus 4 times 8. Actually, we don't do 80 times 4. Why? Because it does it for us. So Bible said 4 times 8 is equal to 32. Yeah? I add 30 and then I add 2. Notice because it's on the abacus, I don't have to say 320. So in mainstream math, you do 4 times 80 is equal to 320. But in abacus world, we don't need to. Why? Because the abacus does it for you. So we have 320. Does that make sense? So then what are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? We're going to do 4 times 6. I'm sorry, 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. I add my 1 and I add my 6. And that's it. No. No give me my calculator. Instructor Mike Hill. You could. Makes sense. The tens are represented on the instrument. Exactly. Exactly. So that's why when we do multiplication, we do it with our multiplication facts. We don't add the extra zeros, if that makes sense. We don't need to add extra zeros because it's all on the abacus. That's why we figure out where we sit. Christo, does that make sense? So what we just did is we're moving the beads and we're adding what we have. We multiply it out and we now, wow, thank you for the heartbeat. I see that. I see that. So does that make sense, Christo? I don't know if Christo is still here. Yeah, we can do another one. Let's do another one. So now what we're doing is we're doing multiplication on the abacus, and you could do it with this still, right? So I'm a little sad that Bible didn't get a chance to do the multiplication on the abacus because it is quite easy, and you can find numbers that will fit on the small abacus. Uh, okay, another one, DJ Khalid. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 98 times that by 3, and again, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It make it so much easier for me to understand. Bleh. I've learned something new today. Ah, 100%. We'll be back. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I'm so happy. I, it's hard to see like all the spam that happens, but thank you. I do appreciate it. It's official. Okay. So thank you for sharing the live. Thank you guys for sharing the live. Hello, Jonathan. So what are we going to do? We need to count our digits. Again, we count our digits. One, two, three. So we know that we're going to put our answer here. One, two, three. We're going to put our answer right here. So the first thing we're going to do is 3 times 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 20 and 7. Again, this is multiplication fact. So we don't need to, thank you, Bible, we don't need to talk about 270. So then we do what? 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is what, 24? Thank you, because I'm getting tired. I add 2 and then I add 4. And my final answer is, survey says, what is my final answer? What, please put in the chat what my final answer is. Flying ram. Wow, why there's like 40 people in my room. How do you know how to do the matrix? Yes, 294. Thank you. Vanilla Gorilla 51 looks like this. 50 and then 1. And Sage, I do not know the matrix. I know the matrix. Okay, Neon Panther, let's do that. I think we have enough room. 35 times that by 3. So again, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We're going to count our digits. We're going to count 1, 2, 3. Because we're going to count to 1 to 3, we know that we're going to sit on the third column. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be easy. 1, 2, 3. So, ha, 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 ha. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. I'm going to add 9. What do I do? You see, I see, I see. So we add the 9 because 9 is a single digit. No, Bible, no. 9 is a single digit, so you go back one column. Why? Because we're going to do 0, 9. We want to try to make our digits double digits. To make it double digits, we add the 0 and the 9. I hope that makes sense. So now we have 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Now what do we do? I am going to use my little handy dandy isolator. Bible. No! We want to add the 10. We want to add 1 here. Why? Because it's 15. Add the 1, add the 5, add the 1. Can we add the 1? No, we can't. We need to add the 10, right? We need to plus the 10 minus the 9. So I'm going to plus the 10. I'm going to minus the 9. And then we add the 5. So my final answer is 105. Hey, Panda, welcome. Did that make sense? The reason why it was cool because it had a math, like a adding of the 10. What we just did is we added the 10. I knew that was a good one. Yeah. See, that's the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is you're going to start seeing how the numbers work. And then you'll start realizing how easy it is. Yeah, that's the funny thing. But thank you. I do appreciate that. I don't know if Christo's still here. Christo, are you still here? Not so dark matter. Ha. Yeah, my manner is not so dark either. How are we doing? Good me. Yeah, does that make sense? What we doing? I got me. You got me. Yeah. So let's review the abacus again because there are a few people that are coming in and I can't believe there's 43 people here. So let's review the abacus. What we're doing is we're counting and we're doing math in the middle of the night. That's what we're doing. We're doing math in the middle. We're doing arithmetic in the middle of the night. So what we're going to do is we're going to add one. I'm sorry. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, this is being counted. This is 4. Now we have 5. The top bead will always be 5. Well, when I do 1, right, and I want to add the 5, now we have 6. Does that make sense, Oni? So when we have 2 and I want to add the 5, I now have 7, right? 5, 6, 7. When I have 3, we see 3. 1, 2, 3. When we see 3 and I want to add the 5, now we have 9. Panda, good, good. Okay, good, Oni, good. So now we have 4. We know 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because it touches the horizontal bar. Because it touches the horizontal bar, we add the 5. What do we have? We have 9. Well, can we do more? Yes, we can do more. How do we do more? We do more because every column is a digit. So we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000. So when we look, we have 9. We did 9. How do I do 10? How do you do 10? How do you do 10? 10 is 1 and a 0. Does that make sense? Panda? Oni? Does that make sense? So when we look, we can do 11, right? Okay, good. Okay, good. Why not two fives? Ha ha. Why not? 5 is 55. That's why. This is all fives. It doesn't change. 5, 55. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. What? Right? 5,000, 55,500, 555. This is what that means. This is what this is. What we just, that's a horrible 5. That's what this is. Does that make sense? So when I line it up, all of these that are touching is all fives. So no, it is not two fives, right? To make two fives, to make a 10, it's a 1 and a 0. To make a 10, look at that, 0 and 1. To make a 10, it's 0 and 1. Right? So what are we doing? What we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus. The way we write is exactly the way we read the abacus. So when we look, we have our ones. Why are we here? Because I have this dot indicator. This is my label. Have you seen my label? This is my label. Just like a Pokemon, right? I choose you. But instead, I chose this guy. I chose this one. Because I chose this one, now I can count. I can do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. That looks very similar to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 0 because there's no beads touching the bar. Yes, exactly. There's no beads touching the bar. So in abacus world, we actually start from the 0. Ha 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 ha. Great. I am happy you are not a spammer and a troll. But great. No, I'm very happy that you got it. Makes sense, right? Simple to use, easy to understand. The thing is just to go through the motions to understand that every column is a digit. Yes, thank you, Panda. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I do. I do appreciate that you're open to learning different things. Needed this when I was in school. We we all needed this when we were in school. I live vicariously through my kids. Yeah. So again, what we're doing is we're understanding how to read the abacus. Now, you might be wondering, well, is this all I can do? Well, yeah, because I only have like 7 columns. Let's say we want to do more. That means that means I need to get a bigger abacus because why? Size matters. Now I have a bigger abacus. And let's do a little review for boy. Boy? Okay. This is, if I'm back, this is a 13 column abacus. A 13 column abacus. I choose you. See, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which indicator you choose, as long as you choose one. I chose this one. What does that mean? If I chose this one, then I have my ones, my thousands, my millions, my billions, my trillions, right? Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter. It just depends on how big your numbers are. And that is this one. Nope, that's this one. Nope, that's this one. Yep, there we go. Nope, what are we doing? That one. There we go. There we go. There we go. So if you notice, now I have a 13 column abacus and it helps me, right? I have a 13 column abacus. Oh, great. So no hundreds. Oh, you want more? You can get a 23 column abacus. That's as big as I got. I think there's somebody that has a 27 column, but I don't, but my biggest one is only 23 columns. And it's the same. If you wanted to track the American national debt, you can start from here. It'd be ones, thousands, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, and then quintillions. I think it is. I don't know. I don't know. Something like that, right? I don't know anything higher than trillion. But the difference is what? This is made out of bamboo. And this has been with me for 20 plus years, ever since I've been teaching abacus. This is made out of plastic and it works exactly the same. It doesn't matter. It works exactly the same and it's very easy to move. Quintillion. Oh, yes, yes, I think you're right. Quintillion. So notice it's very easy to move, right? These are standard sizes. So no matter how big your hands are, I don't have very big hands, but no matter how big your hands are, you should be able to move it. So let me show you what I do is I actually go to the edge of the bead and I just move it. It's a very gentle process, right? It's a very gentle process. You don't want to be too aggressive when moving the beads. So when we look at it, this is a standard size. This is a standard size. These are all the same sizes. But notice they're very easy to move. So if you bump it, you're going to lose your answers. I'm telling you right now. So that's why you use your left hand to stabilize the abacus. You use your left hand to stabilize the abacus. It doesn't matter which one. You could use this one, you could use this one. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to line up my ones and I'm going to make it 0. When I make it 0, I can count. Boy, are you still here? Boy, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wish I had you for my teacher back then. Oh, thank you. Boy, we have 5. The top bead is always going to be 5. Can you see that? The top bead will always be 5. So then we have 6. We have 6. We have 7. We have 7. We have 8. We have 8. We have 9. We have 9. Then what's after 9? We know what's after 9. After 9 is 10. So what is 10? 0. We do 0 and then 1. We do 0 and then 1. Does that make sense, boy? I don't know if boy is still here. 0 and, oh, yeah. Well, I say it backwards. I say 0 and 1. 0, 1. Right? 1 and 0. 1, 0. 1, 0. So 10. Just like that. Right? This is my ones. This is my tens. 1, 10. Right? Too late, Panda. Okay, so what's after what? You know what's after 11? 11's easy. 1 and 1. Easy. You could do it with my eyes closed. 1 and 1. 1 and 1. 2. 1, 2. 1, 2 is 12, right? 1, 2 is 13, right? It's starting to make sense. Okay, good. Thank you, boy. When we look at it, it's all about attention to detail as well, right? So if you see 13 and I want to add the 5, we have 18. When we add 18, right, this is 18, we add the 1. You go to the horizontal bar, you add the 1. Now we have 19. If I want to subtract, I want to remove it, I want to take away, I want to minus 3. I move it away from the horizontal bar. When I want to add, I'm going to move to the horizontal bar. I add to the horizontal bar, and that is 17. Yeah? We're okay? That makes all sense? So we can count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Now, the reason why I use the colorful one is because it's pretty to look at. Hey, Eddie the Mexican, welcome. I use this one mostly, but when I start doing multiplication division, then I like to use the other ones. Great. Anybody have any questions? Great. Yeah? How are we doing? No, there's no questions. You cannot tell me this all makes sense. This, I'm happy it makes all sense, but there's no questions. Like really, there's no, or is it too late? It's probably too late because it is 11:30 at night. Pretty to look at too. Yes, yes. I want to do division. Yes, we can do multiplication and division. I don't think we're ready for division, honestly. Honestly, Neon, I don't think we are ready to do division, but we can do some more multiplication. So let's do some more multiplication because it's easy. Always. Thanks. I've always wondered how it works, and thanks for explaining. Yeah, not a problem, boy. I'm so happy that you enjoy it. I'm happy to share the knowledge and to share my knowledge. Oh, there he is. Yes, and hopefully get interested. There we have I have other things. Okay, so let's okay, we'll do this one. 62, 62, 62, 62, 62 times up by 8. So the first thing we're going to do, hey, Deanna, 3, 4, 2 times up by 6. I'm working with a creator mutual aid and share the live stream experiences. I don't know what that means. Vile Vixen. It's 123 around. I stumbled across this and I have to admit I'm enthralled at this point. Vile Vixen. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know why. I've always been curious and I'm glad I found you. I'm glad you found me too. I'm very happy that you've joined us. So the first thing we're going to do is understand how to subtract. No, multiply. We're going to multiply. I always wanted to learn how to use it, but it's confusing. Amino. Amino. Question: do you know how to read it? Are we do we got a review? Let's do a review. Wait, hold on, Neon. We're gonna do a review. Let's do a little review. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand how to read the abacus. We do 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we have 4, anytime the beads are touching the horizontal bar, it's now 4. Woot woot! Amino, are you still there? If not, we're going to go to multiplication. So we have 4, and then we have 5. The top bead will always be 5. And then okay, good. You're still here. Good, good, good. So then we have 6. Does that make sense? This is 6 because we have 5 and we have 6. Because this is a value of 5, then we have 6, and then we have 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's after 9 is 10. But look, when I do this, 10 is 1 and a 0. 10 is 1 and a 0, then we can start talking about the place values. So every column is a place value. We have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000. So when we look, we have 1. No, not 1. This is 10 because it's a 1 and a 0. So when we have 11, we have 1 and 1. When we have 12, 1 and 2. Does that make sense? Then we have 13, 14, and then 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 19. Yeah? Make sense? So what we're going to do is we're now going to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Oh, good. 10K and Trey and Cleopatra and Amino. Great. Great. Make sense? So what we're going to do, haha, Neon Panther. So now if we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands, our 10,000. When I do this and I say 2025, that's our year, right? 2025. 2025, that's our year. Does that make sense? So the first thing we're doing is we're understanding how to read the abacus. After we learn how to read the abacus, we're going to go into multiplication. Okay, so we're okay with reading the abacus. Let's go to multiplication. I'm just jumping the class forward now. How are we doing? We all right? Let me know if you have any questions. So we're going to count our digits 1, 2, 3. When we count our digits, 20, 25. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Bible. Ha, the popcorn. Grab the popcorn, Cleo. So, 3. I'm going to add my abacus. I'm going to remove. Okay, now we have 0. We're going to count to 3. Why are we going to count to 3? Because we're counting our digits. We need to know where are we going to put our number. Where are we going to put our answer? We're going to do it 3. 1, 2, 3. We're over here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 8 times 6. 8 times 6 is equal to 48. I'm going to add 4 and I add 8. Notice I'm just putting in whatever I see right here. I don't need to say 480 because the abacus does it for me. Does that make sense? Because the abacus does it for me, I don't have to say 480. I just need to add in 4 and 8. In the, was it mainstream math, they write it on paper. So you have to write what? You have to write 60 times 8 is equal to 420. I need a calculator. Krypton. Krypton, you need kryptonite. That's what you need. So when we do this, what are we going to do? Now, what are we going to do is 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So we're going to add 1, and then we add the 6. How do we add the 6? 5, 6. Cleopatra, did that make sense? Where are we? Amino, did that make sense? 10,000. 10,000 trade. Did that make sense? Yes. Yep. See? Easy. Easy. So what's my final answer? 60 Bible dose. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. What's my final answer? I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comments. I'm just being enthralled. Okay, 400. This is 400. 1, 2, 3, 4. 400. I'm going to use my little label here. So we have 490, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 90. And then this is 6, 5, 6. So 496. Yes, thank you, Cleopatra. Oh, good. Good, 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 good. Right? Makes sense? So what we did here is we're doing a little bit of multiplication. Multiplication! Anybody have any questions? 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 Other than kryptonite? Kryptonite, do you still have questions? Do you want to learn how to read the abacus? Or are you just a spammer and not care? If you don't care, that's fine too. I'm not here for everybody. I'm just here for those people that are interested in learning how to read the abacus and use it for good. Use it for good. Daddy Ranger, I don't know, but the abacus makes it a lot easier as much as we do, said Abra. So the abacus only for big numbers? Can you do more multiplication? Yes, we could do more multiplication. I'm paying close attention. Okay, we'll keep going. We can do division for multiplication. Okay, Cleopatra, we can do adding, subtracting, multiplication, and division. On the abacus, it is 480. Does division easily essentially function the opposite of how you do multiplication? No, actually, division on the abacus is more finding the missing factor of multiplication. So in abacus world, it's once again, I have no question. It is 1:30 in the morning. It is 1:30 in the morning. And it is, yeah, if you had questions at 1:30 in the morning, I'd be questioning that. So I wish I would have had one of these in school. Oh yeah, I believe so too. Ah, Cleopatra, go to sleep. Wow, you guys are crazy learning math in the middle of the night. That's dedication. Whew, okay. So, yes, we will. I should go to sleep. I will see you in my next live. Thank you, Cleopatra, for joining. Oh, we're going to do this one. This one was 342 times that by 6m. I love math. I'm sorry. Uh, okay, we'll do a review. Let's do a review. Let's do a review because there's like 50, 61 people in the room. I don't know why there's all these people in my room and everybody's learning math. That's fantastic. M, thank you for your comment. Haha, Bible. We're so jealous. So jealous. Okay, 1M, 2, 3, 4. M, are you still around? If not, we're going to do multiplication. This is 4. Anytime the beads are touching this horizontal bar, okay, good. Because the beads are touching this horizontal bar, right, this is now 4. We have 4, 5. The top bead will always be 5. So if I did this, this is 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. These are all 5s, right? So it's like 55,555.55, right? These are all 5s, no matter what. So I'm going to clear it again. I'm going to do 5. Now we know how to do 6. What? We know how to do 6 because we add the 1. When we add 5 plus 1, we have 6. We have 2. When we add the 5, now we have 7. We have 3. We add the 5, we have 8. 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Now we have 4. What are we going to do? When we add the 5, we have 9. 5 plus 4 is 9. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we know what 10 is. We know what to do with 10, right? 10 is a 1 and a 0. So all I got to do is show it on the abacus. 1 and 0. So when now I have an idea of what my place value is. I could say 1, 0, 1. This is 10. So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. After 15, this is very familiar, right, M? Are you still here, M? So when we add 15, we add 1, this is 16. Add another 1, we're at 17. Make sense? Cool? So we have Libra X was not 895, right? So we do 800, we do 895. Not this sick complicated. Constance or Constance? 42. Oh, 420. You might want to stop smoking. Just saying. So 420, 4, 20, 2 and a 0. So this is 4. When we add the 400, we have a hundreds, right? We have hundreds, and then this is our tens, and then this is our 0. So we have 420. Clocked. I'm so happy I have people that understand my humor. Hey, Yomi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh my god. Uh, 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 Thank you. I appreciate that, but I know I'm not a comedian. I can't be a comedian, but I love comedians. Oh my god, I love comedians. They're so funny. Okay, so does that make sense? Do we have like do you want to do some linear? I don't know what that means. Sorry, Yomi. That is above my pay grade. The only thing I can do here is my new favorite, Night Night Bio Vixen. I'm sorry. The only thing I know how to do on the abacus is, dang it, I stepped away so I missed a joke. Linear algebra. No, I'm sorry. That is above my pay grade. I am so sorry. I mean, you can give me a question and I can try to fuddle around with it, but I don't know how to do it. I only know how to do adding, subtracting, multiplication, division on the abacus. So, I don't even know what linear algebra is. I am sorry. I am a simpleton. I only know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Oh, hey, the M, thank you. Okay, okay, this might be a little bit complicated, but let's try it. Let's try it. Are we ready? We're ready. We're gonna understand a few things. Oh no, I want to do this. I want to do that. The reason why is I want to do you remember how to make a 10 and how to make a 5? Before I go into all of this adding and subtracting. So M, before we continue, we can do that, but it might be a little bit complicated. The 21st of September. I don't know what that means. I know linear, I know algebra, but not I don't know what it means by what linear algebra means. Okay, so M, do we understand? Do you know how to make a 10 and make a 5? This song. Oh, 21 Night of September. I don't know that song. You do. Okay, good. So then we will be able to do this. I'm going to add 239 on my abacus. I'm going to add 239 on my abacus. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do? We're going to add the 5. When we add the 5, can we add the 5? Yes, we can add the 5. Why do we know? What? We just add the 5. There we go. Then what do? We want to add the 6. We want to add the 6. Can we add the 6? Can we add the 6 here? No, we can't. What are we going to do? Well, we know this concept of how to make a 10. To make a 10, thank you, Neon, we're going to look at 4 plus 6 is equal to 10. Does that make sense? Why are we doing that? The reason why is because on the abacus, we cannot make a 6. We cannot add 6. And instead of memorizing instead of memorizing 6 plus something is equal to whatever, instead of memorizing that, what we're going to do is we're going to memorize this concept. So what we're going to do is, yes, Bible, that's what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to isolate the 6. We're going to isolate that variable. There's your algebra. What is it? Who is it? Somebody said algebra. There's your algebra. That's all I know. Linear algebra. Who was it? I forgot. Oh, Yomi. Yomi said. Yomi asked about algebra. So here's my algebra. This is the only algebra that I know. I don't know if this is linear. I will have to do some research, but I don't know if this is linear algebra. So here is I'm going to isolate this variable, right? So what I'm going to do is, it looks very familiar like this, right? 4 plus 1 is equal to 10. We're going to isolate the variable. When we isolate the variable, right, we got to do 6 is equal to 10 minus 4, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to plus the 10. So we add the 10. And now what do? We have to take away the 4. We're going to take away the 4. So my final answer is true. Gotta go. Okay. State testing, I have to get some sleep. Yeah, go to sleep. You should not be up. I'm sure it's pretty late. So that's what the answer is. There you go. What's my answer? My answer is technically. Yes, it's technically linear algebra. Oh, okay. Cool. So we have 295. Nice, right? Easy. Thank you, Bible. Yes, 295. So that was an easy one. Why? Because all we had to do is make a 10 here. And that's one of the pillars that we need to make sure that we understand in abacus world. In abacus world, we need to understand how to make a 10 and how to make a 5. If you know how to make a 10 and how to make a 5, then you can use any answers, any you can use any answers. Doesn't matter. You will be able to find all your answers under the sun. We can do two-step equations. Um but yeah, a little confused on the 10 part. Oh, okay. You know what? Let's do this. Hold on. Can everyone here read the abacus? I don't even know how many people are here anymore. Okay, you're right. You're right, Bible. Let's review again. We're going to count on the abacus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we have 4, this is the value where all these beads touching the horizontal bar, this is the horizontal bar. Because it's touching the horizontal bar, this is now 4. And then because this top bead is touching the horizontal bar, this is 5. So we have 5, and then if we add the 1, now we have 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. And then here is 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 plus 3 is 8, and 5 plus 4 is 9. So the first thing we're going to do is understand how to read the abacus. Thank you so much for your help, Bible. So when we look at the abacus and notice there's edges on the beads. So when there's edges on the beads like that, what we're going to do is we're going to gently move the beads like this. It's not aggressive. It's very gentle. So when we look, we want to just move the beads like that, right? Does that make sense? So when we have it, and Neon Panther said 49, we have 40, we'll have 40, and then we'll add the 9. So now we have 49. What are we going to do? We're going to continue to count and understand how to read the abacus. So if I did 2034, I'm sorry, 2349. So that's what I have. 2349. Keep cleaning. It's boring. Oh, cleaning it is boring. Okay, so how are we doing? Are we understanding how to do it? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, amino, okay, the first thing we're going to do is understand how to move the beads. When I add 1 and when I add 2 and I add another 2, my final answer is 8. What I'm doing is making sure I understand how to move the beads. I want to focus on the add-in. When I focus on the add-in, we know what an add-in is? An add-in is the number that we're trying to add 2. So with this question, we have 5. When we have 5, my add-in is 1. Abacus world, we focus on the add-in. We don't focus on the result. So if I have the 5, I'm going to add the 1. I'm going to move the bead to add the 1. My final answer is 6. So when I have 6 and I want to add the 1, it goes to the horizontal bar. That means I'm adding. If I want to subtract, I move it away from the horizontal bar. So when we look, this is 6. And now I have my answer. So I do it again. If I have 7, I'm going to have 7 on my abacus. 7 on my abacus. I add the 1. It's all about the journey, not the destination. Yes, thank you, Neon Panther. Yes, it's all about the journey because we all want to be happy, right? But the question is how do we get there, right? Everybody, how to get to happiness is everybody's different. So that's why we don't focus on the result. What we do focus is the journey. We focus on what this is. So when we add 7 and I want to add the 1, notice I'm adding this 1. It doesn't matter which one we're adding, adding the 1. So when I have 7, I want to add the 1. If I have 8, I want to add this 1. I'm only adding the 1 bead. I hope that makes sense. So when I add the 1 and I take away the 1, Yes. So here is 2. And again, what we're doing is we're adding 2. We have 5. We add the 5. When we add 2, again, it's the add in that I'm looking at. When we add the 2, do I have enough? Yes, I do. I'm going to add the 2. So that's the question that we need to ask. I have 7 over here. I'm going to add 7. Do we have enough to add the 2? Yes, we do. So I'm going to add the 2. My final answer is 9. Thank you, Neon Panther, for sharing my life. We have 5. We have 5, and we're going to add the 3. Do we have enough to add the 3? Yes, we do. 1, 2, 3, and we add the 3. So my final answer is 8. We have 4. 4 doesn't have a lot of questions. We have 4, add 5, and then plus the 4, and then add the 4. That's all we're doing. And my final answer is 9. So again, because we know how to add, we know how to subtract. We're going to take away 2. Which 2 are we taking away? Well, it all depends on what it is, right? Wait. Can you do 6? Do we have enough to add the 3? That's the question, Cleo. You should be in bed. Go to sleep. How long does it take to learn the basics of abacus? It takes about an hour. I'm heading out tonight, but thank you for making the learning abacus a delight. Oh yeah, thank you, Vile Vixen. Cleopatra, go to sleep. I'm excited to learn more from you in the future. Yes, I will see you in my next live. Thank you so much for dropping by. I do appreciate that you came by. And let me know if you have any questions. Cleopatra, thank you so much for the rose. All right. Yes, we have enough. So we add in all we have to do is add the 3. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. The big question is do you have enough? If you have enough, then just add it. Just add it. You know what? Just add it. Doesn't matter. But what happens is when we don't have enough, that's when we start getting into formulas, right? So we have the 2, we got to take away the 2, right? We add the 2, we added the 3, now we want to take away the 2. So when we take away the 2, how do you do 6 plus 4? No, see, 6 plus 4 is when we start talking about making a 10. Making a 10. So this is where we start talking about how to make a 10. The question is, let's do a different question. Let's do 9. Let's do 9 plus 6. The question is 9 plus 6. Can I add a 6? No, I can't add a 6. How do I do it? I need to look at my formula. I need to make a 10. Why? Because I need to use this second column, this one over here, to make a 10 when I want to add a 6. I'm going to add a 6. The question is 9 plus 6. 9 plus 6 is what? I don't have enough beats to plus the 6. I need to plus the 10. 0, 1. 10 is 0, 1. I'm going to add the 10 here. I'm going to add the 1, right? And then it says to take away the 4. So all I got to do is take away the 4. And my final answer is 15. That's it. Does that make sense, Cleo? Who should be asleep? Hmm. Okay, maybe that's a little bit too much. Let's go one step back. Let's go one step back. Let's talk about how to make a 5, right? Because the one thing is to understand what we're trying to do. Let's take it one step back. Let's make a 5, right? The concept, why are we learning how to make a 5? Because that's the next step. The next step is to, once we know how to read the abacus, I'm sorry. Okay, so you subtract when you don't have enough? Yes, you know what we do is we trade. What we do is we trade. So here, just as Neon Panther says, I want to do the question. I want to do a question. Says, 3 plus 4. I want to do 3. So I'm going to add the 3. Hold on. Let me see if I can find more props. I have a bunch of props that might help. Okay. So here's the thing. We're doing like a trade, if that helps. So I have the number 3. I have the number 3. The question is 3 plus 4. Here's my 3, right? I'm going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. You know what? If you are in America, I'm going to give you 3 pennies. One, nope, that didn't spark. One, two, three. A penny is worth 1 cent. Just so you know, whoever's not in America, this is 1 cent, right? But the problem is, I only have 5 cents. This is a nickel. This is 5 cents. This is a nickel. So because I only have a nickel, I'm going to add it. But that's too much. I need a relationship. I need a trade, right? If I'm going to give you 4 cents, but I only have a nickel, I'm going to take one back and I'm going to give you a nickel. So my final answer is 7, right? So my final answer is 7 because I took away 1 penny. I took away 1 cent to my 97 cents. Adds your 3 pennies to my 97 cents. Thank you. Yeah. Does that make sense, Amino? So what I did is I traded it in. Amazing props. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so the it's the nickel, it's the 5 cents that kind of baffles people, and I understand this. So when you think about the top beat is like a nickel. If I have three and it's only worth 4 cents, I only have I can buy some chips. Yep. So what I want to do is I'm going to give you my nickel because that's all I got. I'm going to give you my nickel, but I'm going to exchange it, right? You have to give me change. So I take away the 1 penny back. So that's what I did here. I have three, right? I have three. There's not enough beads to make a four. There's not enough beads to add four. But I know that plus the four, I know plus the four is equal to plus the five minus the one. So I plus the five and I take away the one. So my final answer is 7. Does that make sense? This is the next step. The next step is to understand how to make a five. What we just did is a concept that we're teaching the children how to make a five. The abacus world, we take it one more step. We level it up, right? 7? Yes, 7. We level it up, and what we're doing is we're understanding how to utilize this 5. Does that make sense? How are we doing? Okay, what is the equation? The equation is this: 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus the 1. That's the equation. And we were doing, I guess this is called linear algebra. I don't know. I don't know, Neon. Yeah. So the question is 3 plus 4. When I add the abacus 3 and I add the 4, I want to add the 4. There's not enough beats to add the 4. What do? I plus the 5 and I take away the 1. So then my answer is 7. Yes. My answer is 7 because I cannot have any beads to add the 4. There's not enough. So I need to figure out another way to do it. This is, right? This is what we call critical thinking, right? We add critical thinking to how do we get our answer? Whew. Whew. Yep. How are we doing? Make sense? So what we just did is we are taking this concept 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. We can also do 1 plus 4. We can do 3 plus 2 and 2 plus 3, right? So these are sets that we would have to memorize. What about division? 255 people and you got to stick together. You guys are really dedicated to learn math. Yeah, division. You want to learn division right now? Are we ready for division? You know what though? Did the neon algebra? I've been waiting for this. Algebra. We did algebra. This is algebra. We did substitution. One more multiplication. Okay, we could do one more multiplication. That'd be easy. One more multiplication. All right, let's do that. And then we'll do division. But Neon, if people start complaining about how difficult it is, I am going to blame you. I'm just saying. Because it is taking a little bit of brain power in the middle of the night to do division. Calculus. That's great. I'm so happy you know the topics of math. That's fine with me. It's fine with you because they're not yelling at you. They yell at me. Let's do physics formula. I'm back. Hello, Alexis. Hello, Cleopatra. Oh, let's do physics. What I miss? We're just doing multiplication. Let's do multiplication. Okay, we'll do this one. 98 times that by 3. We'll add that later. I want to take the abacus to my fight night math fun. I don't think that's possible. I'm just saying. 7286 times that by 7. I don't 5. I don't know what finite math is. I'm sorry. That's above my pay grade. I'm a simpleton. I don't know stuff like that. You're very smart. All right. 98 times 3. We're going to figure out our answer. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Thank you so Cleopatra, thank you so much for sharing my life. 3 spaces, yes. So the first thing we're going to do is 3 times 9. Probably the matrix analysis, probability and matrix analysis. Unless you can explain that to me in arithmetic form, I do not understand probability. And I know the Matrix is a movie. 9 times 3. This is the best bit. There you go. Same. Um, it's all more arithmetic. Okay. So 7, so 27. So we add 20 and I add the 7. My next one is 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So I add my 2 and then I add my 4. Wait, what? What about the smaller numbers like 9 times 3 on the abacus? No, if you want to do that on the abacus, then you would have to do like 9 plus 9 plus 9. You can actually just do cumulative addition. That's what you would be doing. So we would do 9 and then plus another 9 and then plus another 9. That's what we would do. Yeah. So in abacus, it would just be cumulative addition. Yeah. Oh, I don't even know what my answer is. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Neon Panther. It's 294. That's my answer. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things. So in abacus world, we actually only know up to 9. We only go up to 9 times 9. Why? Because 9 times 12 is redundant. Because we still do distributive property. We do 9 times 1, 1, 2, 3. 9 times 1 is 9, so I add my 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Plus 1 plus 8. Plus 1 is plus the 10 minus the 9, and then plus the 8. So my final answer is 108. Yes. But again, it goes back to understanding the making of the 10 and making of the 5, right? We could do it the other way. What's the other way? The other way is, no, it's still the same. 12 times 9. It's still the same. Still the same. Because 9 is a single digit. Excuse me. Okay. This one. This one. Let's see. Do I have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we have enough. All right, let's do it. What time is it for me? It is midnight. Thank you. And I've been on for 2 hours. All right. 7 times 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 times 7 is 49. Add my 4, add my 9. 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Add my 1, add my 4, add my 1, minus the 9 plus the 10. Add 4. 7 times 8. 7 times 8 is 56. Add my 5, add my 6. 7 times 6 is 42. Ha ha, that's a good one. That's a good one. This one's a big one. This is a big one. I'm going to add 2, so we're done with that. I'm going to add the 4. Can't add the 4. What do I do? Add the 4 is plus the 10 minus the 6. Minus the 6 plus the 10. Plus the 10. Can't do it. Minus the 9 plus the 10. So that's my final answer. 5, 1, 0, 0, 2. What? Huh. Is that right? Are you sure? I gotta check. 2 is not. What? What is it? 7, 2, 8, 6 times up by 7. No. What? Not 2. Not 4. Can you do integrals on that thing? I'm sorry, Gravix. I don't know what integrals mean. That's above my pay grade. I'm not kidding. I don't know what integrals mean. I put the wrong number. Yeah. I meant 4. I said 4, I meant 2. But you also need to put in 2 more zeros. Yeah. There's a lot of people doing some late night math because I don't know what integrals are and I don't know what calculus is. I don't know how to do calculus. I barely know what linear algebra is. There was a few others. What, physics? Yeah. Go ahead. Physics is not my realm. I'm getting the hang of it. Thank you. Yeah, not a problem, Amino. Yeah, doing it in my head, my abacus is on my desk. Yeah, it's fun when you get into it. It's just interesting. Wow, TikTok knows I'm horrible at math. Another autumn. That's funny. I was mentioning TikTok wants to help me educate everybody how to do math. I think integrals are calculus. I don't know physics either. It's just banter. Oh, yeah. I know physics, but it's been a long time since I learned physics. And I don't want to be bumping around. And I'm not a physics teacher. I'm a arithmetic. I'm an abacus teacher. I just know how to do like adding, subtracting, multiplication, division. That's all I know. And some decimals. All right. I was a chemistry girly. We need more abacus teachers. I think thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. There's a few. There are a few abacus teachers, but there's nobody that teaches the way. Obviously, there's nobody that teaches the way I teach. Because the way I teach is I'm trying to correlate it with mainstream math, right? I'm trying to show you how mainstream math is very similar to abacus. Abacus is a forgotten tool, and I just wish everybody else knew more of it. So, but yeah, I've got like in working on worksheets and stuff. I'm going to flood the market with more abacus worksheets and workbooks and everything about abacus because I think it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. Okay, We will do one division question. How is that? We'll do one division question. Let's see how we go. Yeah, it will be a simple one because the what we're going to be doing is showing you how to do long division on the abacus. Long division is very useful. Is very useful, just so you know. Um, and it's also talking about like what procedural stuff, whatever. That's fine. Just doing it with fine is me. Okay, good. We could do this one. 2 divided by 486. Now, this is easy. I know it's easy, but it's all about understanding the basics, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand our question. And I need to find all my little props. So the first thing we're going to do is understand when we have to find our number. Excuse me. We're going to find our number. In multiplication, we added our numbers. Thank you, Neon Panther. In multiplication, we added our numbers, but in division, we need to subtract. We have our dividend and we have our divisor. Oh, that's upside down. We're going to take away our dividend minus the divisor digit, right? So 3 minus 1 equals 2. Excuse me. So I'm going to use my digit. I'm going to go over here. This is where I'm going to place my quotient. Quotient is the answer. I'm trying to talk slow because I know I talk fast. So I have my little label. My quotient will sit right here. My dividend sits right here. So I'm going to put my dividend on the abacus. 4, 8, 6. Are we okay with that? That makes sense? Okay. If that makes sense, I'm going to continue on. Great. So what I'm going to do, now I have to compare. Okay, great, Amino. Good. Neon already knows, so it's good that Amino says it. Okay, so the first thing, I'm not discounting you, Neon. I just know that you're further ahead. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to compare. We need to compare and have a conversation with our question. Okay, what does that mean? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to compare. We need to compare our divisor and our dividend. We have our divisor, I'm going to call it S, right? Before S for divisor. And our dividend is E. If our divisor is 2, hello from Berkeley. Hello. So our divisor is 2, our dividend is 4. Math ASMR. Okay. So what are we going to do? 4, who is bigger? Thank you, Neon. Yes, the 4 is bigger. That's easy. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Why? Because now what we know is 2 can divide into 4. One digit. Yes. So we're going to skip. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I got to change my abacus. Sorry. Sorry. My bad. I thought I had enough. All right. So we're back. We're 2. So our quotient is here. Our quotient is here. We're going to put our dividends over here. 4, 8, and then 6. Okay, we're back to here. We're back in business. Okay, so what we're going to do is because because my dividend is bigger, I'm going to skip a column. I'm going to skip this column. I'm going to go over here. That's all I'm going to do, right? This is a rule that we need to do. If the dividend is bigger, we're going to skip one. We're going to skip one column. We're going to skip this one column. And I'm going to put it here. So my quotient will be here. So the question will be 2 times what is equal to 4 or less? 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So I add 2 to my quotient. I take away 4 from my answer, my dividend. So if it's smaller, you don't skip. Correct. If the dividend is smaller, you do not skip. So now I still have a dividend. I have 8 is my dividend. My 2 is my divisor. Who is bigger? My 8 is bigger. So what do? Again, I skip one column. I skip this column and I go over here. Thank you, Cleo. 2, the question is what? 2 times what is equal to 8 or less? 2 times 4. I'm going to add the 4 here, right? And I'm going to take away 8 from the dividend. I'm going to take away the 8. And then I'm still left with the dividend. 2 or 6. Which one is bigger? 6 is bigger. Yes. So what are we going to do? 2 times what is equal to 6 or less? So again, remember we have to skip. We're over here. 2 times 3. And then what do? 2 times 3 is 6. Take away the 6. So my final answer is 2, 4, 3. 62 people and 10,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. Yeah. Does that make sense, Cleopatra? Amino, how are we doing? Mm, that's great. Do you teach how to use the abacus every stream? Yes. Thanks for teaching. My eyes are finally getting heavy. I like division more than addition. Okay, good. Okay, good. I get worried about division because some people get confused. So it is nice because there's a lot of division that can zero it out. So yes, buttered garlic bread. I teach abacus in every stream. And I go and I always, oh, you know what? Let's do it. So let's do a review. Let's review. We're gonna read the abacus. Let me change it up. Good morning. Good more night. That's funny. Go to bed. So now divide 75 by 15. Okay, hold on. Let's do a review for butter garlic bread. 1, 2, 3, 4. Have a good night. Have a good morning, Cleopatra. So this is 4. Because the beads are touching my horizontal bar, this is counted as 4. So we have 4 and then 5. Night night 5. So we have 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. We have 7. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then 8. What time do I usually go live? Going to bed already. Yeah, go to bed. I'm up in the morning. I try to be here 9 Pacific Standard Time or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I try to go during the day, but I don't get too many people. Stay, Nate, man, stay strong. That's funny. But I'm go live pretty often, Amino. If you follow me, I'm sure you'll get the notification that I'm on. What? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Have a good night, Amino. Thank you so much for commenting, and thank you so much for listening to me ramble about abacus. I'm following you. Oh, good. Fantastic. Thank you. Have a good night. So, I don't know if buttered bread is still here. Buttered bread, are you still here? If not, I'm going to do some division. And that would be my last question, division. This is my last division question. So this is 9. Because this is 9, then we have 10. We have 10. We have 10. 1 and 0. 1 and 0. And then we do what? 11, 12, 13, and then 14. Emily, welcome. Welcome back. This is 14. Okay, buttered. What is it? Buttered. Where is it? Buttered. Buttered garlic bread, I believe, is no longer here. Am I wrong? Am I right? Buttered garlic bread. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess I'm going to do one division question and then I'm going to go to sleep. And then you go to sleep too, Neon Panther. Okay, let's do some division. Okay, we'll do one more. What was it? 14, 75. 75. 75 minus or divided by 15. All right. Excuse me. So 2 take away 2 is 0. Okay, okay. I'll wait for this last one. I'll go with you. Ah, Cleopatra, go to sleep. Okay, we can go here. So this starts at 1, right? And then we're going to go here. This is 0. That's just something that we have to know, like a number line. So I was trying to figure out like how to explain this, and it's the number line. So in the number line, we do 2, 1, 0, and then 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. So I'm kind of thinking about that. I think that's what we're going to do. So if we look, this is 1 and this is 0. So I'm going to put my quotient over there. I go back and now I'm going to do a comparison. When I do a comparison, I'm comparing my 7 and my 1. So I have my dividend and my divisor. Dividend and divisor. Okay? Dividend divisor. Again, the difference is now we're talking about 2-digit. We're going to only divide the 1 digit right here. Oh, this is a bigger one. Okay. So the question is who is bigger, 1 or 7? Hold on. Hold, please. Yes, 7 is bigger. Hey, Gobi Nubis. Whoa. Okay, Gobi Nubis. I'm just okay. Okay, okay. Let's take it slow. So yes, 7 is bigger. So what is the question? Oh, I need to put it in. So 0, I'm going to lock. So this is where I'm going to put the quotient. Here is 7 and then 5. Right? We put our dividends here. When we put our dividend, now we got to figure it out. 7's bigger. So I'm going to skip this question and so I'm over here. 7 times 1 times what is equal to 7 or less? 7 times 7 is equal to 7. So we take away the 7 here. Okay. Now here's what it gets tricky. Because whatever you do to the first dividend, you got to do it to the second dividend. 7 times 5 is 35. There's not enough beads to add the 35. We've already gone too far. So what we have to do is we have to backtrack. Take away the 1 from the answer. This is the answer. So instead of doing 7 times 7, instead of 1 times 7 is 7, we want to do 1 times 6. But the problem is we've gone too far. So what we need to do is we need to add 1 back. So the first thing we did is 6 times, okay? So now we have 6. Now we have to multiply it out again. 6 times 5 is 30. Again, there's not enough. So what do? We take 1 from the answer because we've gone too far. We just need to take away the 1. So now, instead of doing 1 times 6, we're doing 1 times 5. But because we did 1 times 5, we got to go back to here and we add the 1, not 30, because it's only 15. 5 times 5 is 25. That works. So I take away 20 and I take away the 5. So my final answer is 5. I was saying 6 times 5. Yeah, 6 times 5 is 30, and 30 is too much. Okay. And that's it. So my final answer is 5. So 15 divided by 75 is 5. Yeah. Yeah. So what we did was, because 1 times 7 is too big, we have to keep going down till we get to the quotient that makes sense. Okay, at least I was still correct and I didn't make a mistake. Okay. Oh, how are we doing? I am about done. Yeah. Yeah. I missed the step and now I'm lost. ADHD. No, no. Cleopatra, it's not because of that. It's because we just jumped ahead. This is a more complex problem. This is a more complex problem, and you just started. So this one, that's why I don't do division too much, because yeah, because it does take a little bit, but you have to get the foundation first before you can go into division. I don't do division very often. That's why Neon Panther's always asking. It's the steps too, but we have to make sure we understand the first steps before we go into multiplication and division. Yeah. 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 No, I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Um, all right. If there's no other questions, no more division, I am going to end this live. I think I was doing good, then I got distracted by the notifications. Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Anything for my buddy, 320 buddy, 322. Yeah. Oh, okay. So how are we we're gonna head out. We're gonna head out. Let's go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. It's like 4 in the morning for you guys. This is crazy. Doing midnight, this is way like early morning. Early morning math. And there's still like 45 people here. Wow. All right. You guys are so funny. Where did the time go? I appreciate that comment. That's fantastic. That means that this was entertaining and you got the popcorn going. I know, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. It was 109 in Abacus. Hey, Eve. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But I am planning to sign off. I've been on for 2.5 hours and I am a little bit tired. All right. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you again for everybody joining. Thank you again for providing comments. Rest is calling. Rest is calling. Have a good night. Good idea. Have a good night. Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And I will see you guys all in my next live. Bye, everybody. Bye. Oh, excuse me. Okay. I'm sorry. I gotta head out. You might get a new subscriber. 26. 18, 29 new followers. going live on 6 days. But I don't know what that means. I just sold another book. 200 new questions. 200 new. He looks young. Creepy AI art and brain rot memes. He is a 3-year-old. Oh, oops.